Hey guys, welcome to PJ's Coin Capers. So today we're going to have a look at what's next. Which $2 coin will be the next to go up in value? Now, this video is all about speculation now. Speculation will be determined by the mintage contained in the next annual report from the Royal Australian Mint. So what I'm about to share may completely go out the window if some of these coins end up being a much higher mintage. So the only way to speculate is to use the tools that we have available to us, such as using the mintage report that is contained within the Royal Australian Mint website, using tools such as eBay, sold figures, and also having a look and seeing what others are finding, as well as yourself when you're doing coin roll hunting, noodling, and making an assessment for yourself. Now, I am not a financial advisor, and this is certainly not financial advice, but this video is probably more so for the investor, someone who likes to collect coins for potential resale in the future. But if you're a collector, you'll still find this interesting, but if you purely like to collect and don't care about what the value is, then maybe this video isn't exactly for you. But if you do like the aspect of your coins going up in value, it's good to speculate and have a look and see exactly which coins may potentially move in the future. So today we're just going to focus purely on $2 coins. So let's jump through to the Royal Australian Mint $2 coin mintages. And you'll find this on their website, fairly easy to find, but let's scroll down and have a look at a few of the $2 coins that we certainly know have gone off in value, and that is the 2012 Red Poppy coin with a mintage of just $500,000. The next one is currently really booming as well, which is the 60th anniversary of Coronation, and that's the purple, and that one there has a mintage of just 1 million. It's still double what the 2012 coin is, but still classed as a very nice low mintage coin. The next one, which really has really started to move, as you saw on my graphic at the start there, is the Remembrance, the Green Dovecoin from 2014, and that has a higher mintage again of 1.85 million. So we will be having a look at a number of these coins, not all of these coins, and I'll go through and talk about a little bit about each of them as we go through. All right, so let's have a look at what's gone on with the Green Dovecoin. And what I'm going to do is just purely have a look at the roll sales. So these are sold figures, okay? So we'll be able to see here that these coins have certainly gone up in value. Now, I think I just mentioned that we're just going to have a look at the rolls, and we will have a look at some cement marks as we go through, but a little bit later on in the video. So these rolls here would have retailed originally for around $100 each. So back in 2014, and they took some time, but they have really taken off in the past month or two. So these are recent sold figures, so we can see they're well into the 1500s, and depending on the roll, I don't know why that particular CNC roll went higher than a RAM roll, but we'll scroll down a little bit further, and you can certainly see that these rolls are certainly bringing in some big money. So I would say that that is a coin that is already taken off, and to get from an investment point of view, it's probably not something I'm going to be putting my money into. All right, so the next coin is the Lest We Forget coin from 2015. Now, mintage wise, fairly low, 1.4 million. Now, I think I've spoken about this a number of times on the channel, but this particular coin, everyone at the time was able to be able to get these things in bags, as well as buying them from the mint or from a coin dealer. Mint doesn't directly sell these rolls, from a coin dealer. Now, everyone was able to get high grade coins. So these coins actually took a long while, even though they're low mintage, to really start to take off. And they've only really started to take off and be somehow noticed in the last year, which actually took a lot longer than what I ever expected it to do. But they have started to move, and you can see here that those rolls are now selling for around that $800, $700 to $800 mark. So now, if you're not familiar with using eBay sold figures, if you scroll down and on the left hand side, you'll see a little column here, sold items. Tick that and you'll see items that have recently sold, and you can put it into an order to show ended recently. Okay, so if you tick that, it'll put them all in date order. So there we have 1.4 million selling for around that $800 mark for a roll. So the next coin we're going to be having a look at is the 2018 Armistice Coin. Now, if I go back, actually, I can just tell you what the mintage is on that particular coin was 1.7 million. Okay, so based on mintages, this is certainly the one that you would probably put to go next. Okay, but in some ways, what I'm about to show you is that this coin has actually already started to go off. Okay, now, once again, rolls here are around the 400 to 500 range. So certainly there's room for growth with these coins, but they have started to move. And so certainly there is value to be had by holding or buying these coins. And we'll have a look at the C-mint mark as we move along. But that, yeah, I just thought that was interesting. That's sort of the next one. Okay, so let's have a look at some comparison coins. So the next one that we have, now this has got an interesting story as well. This is the 2020 75th anniversary coin. Now, currently has a mintage of just 0.6 million, so 600,000, which is extremely low. Now, this coin has been up and down a fair bit, and it's had a bit of a rough time since 2020, and that was because the Royal Australian Mint released a lot of these rolls initially without a sticker on it, and this is when the sticker came in a little bit later on. But the issue was that there were reject rolls, and they all found their way into the roll dispensers at banks, and many of us were able to grab those rolls or purchase those rolls quite cheaply very short time after the mint had already released their head tail rolls. So the reject being a head or a tail roll. All right, so once that happened, the price of these coins really plummeted, but they've started to make their way back up again. Now, this is where you need to be having your feelers out there and reading stuff, knowing a little bit of information, reading what other people are finding, because it's speculated that a lot more of these coins have been put into circulation since the last annual report told us that there was 600,000. So the mint have produced more. So potentially, or they just held back on putting those stocks into circulation. So many people are speculating that 600,000 will possibly jump up closer to 2 million, which will probably bring these prices down. Okay, so some people are obviously wanting to sell now. Some people don't think that it's going to change. So that's all part of the game of speculating, because sometimes you're going to get burnt and sometimes you're going to make some very good money from an investment point of view. They're all beautiful coins, and but I also do like to make money. I don't necessarily sell a lot, and I think it's been a good practice for myself, because certainly in the past when I've let's say sold too early, I've missed out on those real gains. So I've become more of a holder, and I like to watch the market and see what happens and speculate. So this is one that I kind of believe that it is going to go down. There are plenty of roles for sale, and it'll be interesting to see what comes up in the next annual report. And I think everyone's going to be jumping to see what the figure is on this particular coin. All right, so let's jump on to our next coin, the Firefighter, the same year coin. So mintage could change once again, but currently we have a reported mintage of 1.6 million. Now, people have found these in circulation. I myself found only a few, so in Victoria, very few of them. But there is a little bit of speculation that this coin may stay at 1.6 million. So this is the interesting side of speculating, okay? So what we just looked at was a 2020 75th anniversary coin with rolls that are around $500 each. Now what we're seeing here is that basically there's 1 million more of these coins currently known, and the rolls are selling for, or depending on which rolls you pick up, from $185, $200, $239 there, a little bit more for those rolls there, but basically around that $200 mark over the last couple of weeks, 200 to 250, let's say that. So well and truly undervalued, and in comparison to our 2018 Armistice, which is basically the same mintage, 1.7 million for the Armistice and 1.6 million for the Firefighter. So what we see in the next annual report will really determine the value of these coins moving forward. So that's why I really wanted to put this video out now, just to give people a bit of an insight into what the way that I like to go about it and the way that I like to look at things. It doesn't mean that I've gone and bought lots of Firefighter coins. In fact, I haven't. I'll purely just be relying on what I do have, which isn't many. So it's interesting to look at these things. Now let's have a look at some of the cement ones of the last 3 coins that we've just had a look at. Now if you look at the 2018 Remembrance Day, so the Armistice coin here, that one there has a mintage of 40,000, okay? Actually the next 3 coins, so the 3 that we've just had a look at, have a cement mark of exactly the same mintage of 40,000. They've started to bump those numbers up now with the more recent coins up to 60,000, but these ones at 40,000 are certainly popping up to $120 here. And even we're just scrolling back, you can see there are there's always anomalies, but a lot of them around that $100 to $120 for each of those coins. So the cement marked version of the 75th anniversary, probably around exactly the same price, 40,000 of those available. And depending on the mintage of the original unmarked non-cemented coin, the value of those is really determined by mintage, and the mintage impacts the value of the cement marked version, which you'll have a look back at the Red Poppy and the Coronation. Those things are up close to $1,000 each now. So those coins are certainly special, but these older coins with only 40,000 mintage are certainly ones to hang on to, if not buy. So $120 range is where we're at on that. So if our Firefighters coin, ends up being a 1.6 million coin and doesn't creep up in the next annual report and possibly subsequent annual reports, because we can't just determine everything purely by the next annual report. We will need to double check things, but if the figures haven't changed in the next one, then more than likely they possibly won't change. And I don't see the 2018 Armistice coin changing from where it is at 1.7 million. All right, so let's have a look. Now, the one thing you have to be very careful of if buying on eBay, read the descriptions very well. A lot of these will say non-cement. I have done a search for 2020 $2 Firefighter cement, but there's a lot of people who are selling cards that look very similar, and they are non-cemented. So I've done the search, but we need to sort of pick out which one is actually a cement mark. This one here at $35, $29. These are all recent sales. Cement marked for $30 there. So you can see that there's a lot of value to be gained still in these cement coins that basically all depends on where we go with the next annual report. So I cannot wait until the end of this month and we'll see exactly where things are at. So now we'll just have a quick little look at that. 1.7 on the Armistice. We've got 2.1 on the repatriation coin. 2,600,000 reported, and the 1.6 million. And anything after that, I think it's far too early to start even looking at this 2021 Indigenous Australians coin. The military coin currently has a mintage of 1 million, and they haven't stated what they have put on for the ambulance services coin as yet either, and 2 million on the Aboriginal flag coin. So best to look 2020 and prior, but that firefighter coin could be something super special, and we only really have to wait less than a month now to find out exactly where these things will sit. So there we have it, guys. That's where we're going to finish off this video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope I've been helpful and been able to show exactly how I go about it, and why I make the decisions I make when I'm trying to invest in certain $2 coins. Alright guys, that is it for now. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll have another video for you very soon.